Hello?
Hello, you right?
Yeah, you right?
Yes, not bad, thanks. You watched Lost in Space yet?
I didn't even know it was out.
What do you mean? It came out last week.
Yeah, but I've been busy.
Have you not watched it yet? You've been busy. Go watch it. It's amazing. It's the best show that Netflix have ever done.
Well, everyone said that about Star Trek Discovery.
No one said that about Star Trek Discovery. Alright, I said that about Star Trek Discovery.
Case in point.
No, it's not Star Trek. Just go watch it. It's good, okay?
Apollo 440 doing the soundtrack.
If I said yes, would you watch it?
Yep.
Okay, Apollo 440 are doing the soundtrack. Go watch it.
I know you just made that up, but I will.
For impact.
Now, I don't know about you, but these days it just seems to be getting harder and harder just to keep up. Whether it's Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever else in the middle, it seems like every other day there's some new cinematic masterpiece that's being downloaded straight into your noggin box. But in this golden age of media, it's easy to start feeling left out. God help you if you've missed the latest great show. People will gather in the streets and boggle their eyes and try and work out what's wrong with you. My problem is, I simply don't understand how people have the time to do it. And I'm not even that busy. Still, I think it's time this changed. In an effort to actually understand what the hell anyone's talking about, this prick off my back, I've decided to sit down and watch all the shows new and old that I've missed so far. Well, I'm going to give them all 1 hour. If it doesn't impress me, I'm done. And yes, I don't really care if it needs to take 4 hours or you need to let it grow on you. Fuck that, I'm not interested. If I'm not intrigued by episode 1, I'm out. So now I'm here, with you, telling you what I thought of Lost in Space. Originally pitched as Swiss Family Robinson in Space, Lost in Space debuted way back in the space age golden age of 1965. Built on the excitement and thrill of getting out into the stars, Lost in Space took it in a different direction and saw man take his wife and children too. Audience were pretty excited about it and CBS were too.
You can say it in any language. Lost in Space is a top-budget, top-quality show designed to dazzle the eye and ear with the most impressive production values and spectacular effects ever lavished on any TV series.
Personally, my knowledge of Lost in Space is limited to a short, tongue-in-cheek promotional video at the beginning of my brother's Empire Strikes Back VHS tape. Here you go.
Lost in Space, the original and best family hopelessly marooned on an alien planet type serial ever made.
Well, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Howdy. Very little on this planet makes sense.
They look silly, they look cheesy, and they look like a lot of fun. A lot of this translates into the 1998 feature film starring Joey from Top Gear and Gary Oldman and some other people. I haven't seen this for years. I do remember liking it. I remember the Apollo 440 soundtrack, I remember the time portal thing, but most of all, I remember the toys.
Pack in and take control.
Now destroy the spiders.
Arm your robot.
Halt, or robot will destroy.
For a blasting spider strike. Lost in Space motorized robot from Trendmasters.
Fast forward 20 years and Netflix have released their own take on the old family classic.
Impact detected. Brace for impact. Brace for impact.
Throwing us in at the deep end, we're introduced to the Robinson family as they plummet in their spaceship, the Jupiter 2, all the way down through the atmosphere of an unknown alien world. Now in the family we've got Maureen, who's a sort of super genius scientist woman, and the mum. We've got John, who's the dad, he's a former soldier. We've got their children Judy, Penny and Will, who are sort of a pick-a-mix bag of anxious child tropes and oozing with smugness. That is, except for Judy, an 18-year-old plucky tryhard who instantly comes across as a bitter and resentful little shit who disobeys everything told to her and immediately plunges herself into actual danger, much to the eye-rolling displeasure of Penny. Thankfully, Julie ends up immobilised beneath a layer of comically quick freezing ice, where she spends the rest of the hour moaning on about getting free, while also delivering medical expertise to help Penny perform an actual operation on her mum. Meanwhile, in a bid to save Judy, Will notices a convenient patch of magnesium in the area, which, when combined with the ice, should burn hot enough to help free his sister. He and John soon head out, but unfortunately they become separated when an ice shelf collapses. Thankfully, Will finds himself in a Californian nature reserve, where he stumbles on a ruined alien spaceship. When he spots the ship's passenger, Will snaps himself out of his deer in headlights anxiety, and not only keeps himself alive, but manages to befriend the alien creature, who, lo and behold, also happens to have the key to saving everyone. Pretty lucky. A major issue here is that shows like Lost in Space, they amassed a horde of fans over the years. They mean something to people. That's why they keep being held up for reboots and remakes. The original show took an old-fashioned premise and launched it into the stars. Inspiring, entertaining, and, if this clip's anything to go by, even played on the propaganda of the time.
Yes, we're taking off for the stars, on a journey that no longer seems as far out and fantastic as it would have only a few years ago. For now we live in the space age. Mr. and Mrs. Average American and all their kids have marveled at the heroic exploits of our pioneer astronauts. They're ready to project themselves into the foreseeable future with this family of space explorers.
Much like Star Trek, it tells a timeless tale, even if it is mindlessly cheesy to a modern audience. But see, that's part of the problem, isn't it? You strip out the cheese and you're left with a bunch of bland, wealthy, middle-class, mostly white Americans who are just doing something that none of us will ever do in our miserable earthbound lives. One of the early trailers showed Earth in some kind of post-apocalyptic climate issue and that we should all evacuate the planet for our own good.
Earth is our home, but only so long as it keeps us safe. When this world can no longer serve that purpose, another planet, another colony, another chance.
Okay, well, alright, that sounds interesting. But that was in the trailer, and I didn't see any of that level of intelligence or insight in the actual episode. So what's the point of remaking Lost in Space anyway? Is there some sort of message? Is it trying to tell us something? Maybe trying to inspire us to some sort of future vision of humanity? No, it isn't. It's not doing anything. It's doing nothing. Nothing. An argument can be made that seeing a family take part in the great space missions of the future is still pretty unique today. But with the episode mostly being a crisis, all we're actually seeing is a bunch of people pottering around an obvious soundstage, looking worried. It just so happens that some people are smaller than the others. Now in a story like this, characters play an even more important role. Through their eyes, the viewer is welcomed into this new world. And for the most part, Lost in Space gets this absolutely right. Will's blend of super anxious and super smart might just be the only thing that came unharmed from the reboot cycle. Maureen embodies the role of a working mother really well, while she's still on her feet, while John portrays the kind of manly man that gets on and does what needs to be done, even though no one seems to give a shit or really trust what he says.
Where's Will?
I'm gonna go back for it.
What? What happened?
We got separated, but he's okay.
What, you just left him there?
I can only save one child at a time.
But my favourite character of the lot has to be Penny. Of the entire family, Penny feels like the most genuine person. She actually seems to care about what's happening. Plus she also oozes charm and spits sarcasm at everyone around her. And I like that. The biggest problem I have with the characters though, and maybe the whole show, is Robot. Probably the most iconic character in Lost in Space is Robot. He was fun, he was goofy, and he was one of the biggest draws to the original series.
With the cuddly robot called Robot.
Of course we can't have campy, goofy fun in 2018. That would be utterly repellent to the modern audience. So instead, we get this focus group prick. I can imagine how the meeting went too.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Jesus Christ, I wouldn't even mind. But the moment that Robot chooses to use this iconic catchphrase, there wasn't even any danger. Nothing that would justify the use of Danger Will Robinson anyway. Now, while just researching some of these bits, I did look over this again and I think I understand why he said Danger Will Robinson. But regardless of that, it's kind of shameless. It's just an attempt to make fans and people who have maybe heard the catchphrase believe that this is something to invest their time in. And I hate it. I hate it. The only thing missing is something coming on and giving it a kick and calling it a confounded machine. I'm sure that'll come along as soon as we meet whoever the hell Dr. Smith is in this version.
Dr. Smith.
There's nothing offensive about Lost in Space. It's the pull of a fun sci-fi adventure that I absolutely would have loved as a kid. It also fills this weird void where there's just no fun sci-fi on mainstream popular culture. What's more, it does nothing to undermine the success of the original, nor does it shamelessly ruin everything put in place that fans adore about the classic series. What's more, the production design does look incredible, and everything looks fantastic. The only problem is I just don't give a shit. Something about the clinical approach to the remake, or the box ticking and the focus group niceness really just turns my nose up. What's more, the episode uses this device that we've all seen a million times before, where they show the backstory through flashback, and is it just so much to ask that we have this story begin at the beginning? It just really drives me mad. Still, it does look pretty good. Everyone else seems to like it. I don't know what to tell you.
Do they have a name for what's wrong with you?
So you liked it then?
It was alright.
You gonna watch it again?
Nope.